My girlfriend insisted that I apologize to her male best friend for supposedly hurting his feelings. I agreed. I went over to his place and, standing right in front of his wife, I said, "I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I didn't tell my girlfriend about the affair you had last year. I never should have kept that secret for you. My girlfriend, Kate, has a best friend named Simon. Their bond is legendary in their own minds, a two-person fan club dedicated to glorifying themselves. Simon is married to a quiet, gentle woman named Clara, who often looks at the two of them the way a tired zookeeper might watch two monkeys throwing things at each other and calling it fun. I've always been the extra wheel in my own relationship. Kate seeks Simon's opinion on everything, from what coffee beans we buy to where we travel for vacations. He has a key to our place, something Kate insisted on for emergencies, and he loves walking in without warning. Simon is smug, condescending, and somehow manages to disguise insults as well-meaning advice. Kate defends him endlessly, with a starry-eyed admiration that baffles me. Last summer, I ended up holding a secret that changed everything in our odd little triangle. Kate pushed me to go have a guys' night with Simon, something I dreaded. After a few pricey cocktails that I paid for, Simon got drunk and started bragging about an affair he was having. He laughed about it, clearly enjoying the thrill of lying to his wife. He thought I was harmless, the quiet, steady boyfriend who could be trusted to hear his confessions without causing trouble. The next day, a hungover Simon called me in a panic, begging me to forget what he'd told me. He made me swear not to tell Kate or Clara. I agreed. It wasn't my job to blow up his life. But I'm a believer in the concept of mutual destruction, a little insurance policy for when it's needed. I didn't see the secret as a burden, more like a key to a locked door I hoped I'd never have to open. That door appeared last Tuesday. My crime was apparently hurting Simon's feelings. All I did was politely ask him to text before coming in with his key, after he'd walked in on me wearing just a towel. The reaction was over the top. Kate accused me of being jealous and insecure, saying I was sabotaging her most important friendship. Simon played the victim, claiming he now felt unwelcome in his second home. It all built up to a dramatic confrontation last night. Kate and Simon sat me down like they were staging an intervention. "You owe him an apology, Mark," Kate said firmly, arms crossed. "A real, heartfelt apology. You made him feel like an intruder in his best friend's life." I just stared at them. The absurdity of the whole thing almost made me laugh. "Fine," I said with a sigh. But Kate didn't just want a simple sorry. She demanded a public display. In his home, in front of his wife, so Clara could see me respecting their special bond. She wanted an audience for my humiliation. A slow smile spread across my face. This was the perfect setup. She was handing me the key, the witnesses, and the stage. "All right," I said, faking a tone of defeat. "I'll go. It's the right thing to do." Kate looked satisfied. Simon smirked. They thought I was about to admit defeat. They had no idea they were about to be front-row spectators at their own downfall. Update 1. The apology was set for Saturday night. For 2 days, Kate coached me on what to say, a masterclass in self-centered nonsense. I was to admit my insecurity, praise Simon's support for our relationship, and promise to trust him more. I nodded, pretending to take notes like an actor preparing for a role. Then, on Saturday, I made one very important phone call. I rang Clara. "Hey, Clara, it's Mark," I said warmly. "Just checking we're still good for 7 tonight. I really want to clear the air with Simon so we can all move forward as one big, happy family." Clara, being the genuinely kind person she is, sounded pleased. "Of course, Mark. We'll see you then." My audience was officially secured. We showed up at their place right at 7. Kate practically radiated smug anticipation. She thought she was about to see me put in my place. Simon opened the door wearing the expression of a benevolent king ready to grant a pardon. He was prepared to graciously accept my groveling. Clara greeted us warmly, offering drinks, having no clue she was about to witness something unforgettable. We all sat down in their living room, the air thick with unspoken tension. Kate gave me a pointed nod, the signal that my performance was to begin. I rose to my feet and faced Simon. Taking a slow, theatrical breath, I started. "Simon," I said, layering my voice with carefully manufactured sincerity, "we're here tonight because I owe you an apology. I've been selfish and not the kind of friend you deserve." Kate's face lit up. Simon's chest swelled. This was playing out exactly as they had pictured. "You've always been a steady part of our lives," I continued, now turning to make sure Clara was part of my audience. "And I haven't always appreciated how close you and Kate are. For that, I am sorry." I walked to the center of the room, right in front of their fireplace, and then I did it. I dropped to one knee. Kate gasped, savoring what she thought was the ultimate surrender. But I wasn't looking at Simon. I fixed my eyes directly on Clara's, gentle, trusting Clara. "Clara," I said, my voice now ringing with sharp, unshakable conviction, "my true apology is to you. The worst wrong I've committed was keeping something from you." Her smile vanished, confusion flooding her features. Simon froze. Kate's jaw dropped as if she'd been struck. "I'm sorry," I continued, "that I never told you about Simon's affair last summer with a woman from his marketing team. I'm sorry I didn't mention the cash-paid hotel stays or the secret email account he boasted about to me that night he'd been drinking. He told me everything, and I promised not to tell. That was my mistake, and I'm asking for your forgiveness." The silence that followed was heavy, like a bomb going off in a soundproof vault. Clara just stared, her face blank. Slowly, she turned toward Simon. His skin was pale as chalk, eyes wide with panic. Kate broke first, shouting, "He's lying. He's making this up to hurt me." I didn't acknowledge her. Staying on one knee, I kept my gaze on Clara as I reached into my pocket and pulled out my phone. I tapped a screenshot and held it toward her. It was from the morning after Simon's drunken confession. I'd sent him a text saying, "I won't tell anyone about your affair, but you owe me one." His reply, "Thanks, man. I swear it's over. Don't bring it up again." Clara's eyes moved from the screen to Simon's name at the top of the message. And in that moment, she knew it was real. I stood up, surveying the wreckage. Kate was shrieking at me. Simon was stumbling over half-formed denials. Clara just sat still, one silent tear sliding down her cheek. "My apology is delivered," I said quietly. Then I turned and left, shutting the door behind me on the chaos. Update 2. The aftermath was pure mayhem, but all from a safe distance. I drove home, blocked Kate and Simon immediately, and waited for the shockwaves to hit. First came messages from Kate's friends, no doubt called from the driveway. Outrage, disbelief, accusations. "What you did was sick. Why would you lie?" To each one, I responded with the same thing, the screenshot of my text exchange with Simon. No words, no explanations. The angry messages stopped instantly, replaced by silence. The truth has a way of shutting people up. Then came Kate's emails, frantic, emotional, shifting through all 5 stages of grief. Denial, "You're lying and I'll never forgive you." Anger, "Hope you're happy, you ruined everything." Bargaining, "If you admit it's a lie, maybe we can fix this." Depression, "I can't believe this is happening." And finally, twisted acceptance, "Fine, maybe he messed up, but you didn't have to destroy him to get revenge." I didn't reply to any of them. The most important message came from somewhere I hadn't expected. 2 days later, Clara sent me an email. It was short, but it told me everything I needed. "Mark," it began, "I don't know if I should thank you or resent you, but you gave me the truth, something my own husband hasn't done in a year. I found the hidden credit card charges. It was all real. He's no longer living here. I've already spoken with a lawyer. I just wanted you to know that, and I'm sorry for what Kate and Simon put you through. You deserve better." That message was my confirmation. This wasn't petty revenge, it was a brutal but necessary act of honesty. With the moral high ground secured, I turned to the practical matters. Kate was still living in my apartment. My lawyer prepared an official eviction notice giving her 30 days to leave. She had no legal claim, the lease was in my name, but I wanted everything by the book. She responded by making the place unbearable, blasting music late at night, leaving snide notes around. It was juvenile and sad. I ignored it. I started staying with a friend, leaving her in the mess she was creating. Her last, desperate move came the day before she had to leave. I stopped by with a friend to check her progress and found her trying to load my expensive TV and sound system into her car. I didn't yell. I just crossed my arms and said, "That's not yours, Kate." She snapped back, "I paid for half." "No, you didn't," I replied evenly. "I've got the credit card receipt showing I paid in full." "Put it back, or I call the police and show them the proof, and we add attempted theft to your record." She gave in and returned it. The next day, she was gone. I walked into my apartment and, for the first time in years, there was silence. Peace. It was mine again. Final update. It's been 6 months since I knelt down to apologize. Life has completely reset, and I'm better for it. Kate and Simon? Not so much. Simon's world is in ashes. Clara, armed with proof of his affair and hidden spending, was relentless in divorce. She got the house, a large share of his assets, and primary custody of their dog. He now rents a small condo, pays alimony, and lives without the social reputation he once enjoyed. To everyone who used to know him, he's no longer the witty charmer, just the cheater who got publicly outed. Kate's downfall was slower but just as final. After leaving my apartment, she leaned on Simon for support. But he was drowning in his own disaster and couldn't spare her any attention. Their legendary friendship collapsed under the weight of mutual blame. With no fiancé, no best friend, and no home, she moved back in with her parents. Her attempts to spin the story and paint me as the villain failed. The screenshot of Simon's text was undeniable. She became known as the woman who defended her best friend's affair and demanded I apologize for calling out his behavior. She lost her credibility entirely. Last I heard, she's still at her parents', working a low-level marketing job, far removed from her once glamorous life. She set out to punish me for a slight, and lost everything instead. As for me, I'm thriving. The first thing I did after reclaiming my place was change the locks, a symbolic move to make sure no one would ever walk in uninvited again. I've been focused on my work, enjoying the calm that's made me more productive and creative than ever. And I reconnected with Clara. A few months later, she reached out again to thank me. We met for coffee, just as friends. We shared something profound. Betrayal from the same two people. Conversation was effortless, open. Coffee turned into dinner, dinner into something more. It's new, fragile, but real, built on truth and mutual understanding. Neither of us has any interest in repeating the lies we endured. Kate wanted a public display of my submission. She got her spectacle, only it was her own humiliation. She thought she was running the show, but I was the one who had already written the ending. She wanted me to apologize for hurting her best friend's feelings. Instead, I apologized for protecting his lies. And in doing so, I freed two people, Clara and myself.